First tonight, long list of considerations. The labor minister says they're still waiting on recommendations from the National Tripartite Council on another minimum wage increase. Plus, government in the final stages of discussions with the China Exim Bank. The health minister gives an update on the controversial 50-50 labor ratio. Plus, good news for Junkanooers as seed funding has increased and prize money doubled. We've got the breakdown. And then in our news at 7:30, patients and healthcare workers still feeling the loss of Cuban healthcare workers over the summer. The PHA is speaking up. We've got the details for these stories and so much more as Our News Live at 7 starts now. Welcome to Our News Live at 7. Thank you so much for joining us tonight. And TGIF, it's Megan Shepard. Government is waiting on the recommendation from the National Tripartite Council on another minimum wage increase. That's according to Labor and Public Service Minister Pia Glover-Roll. Trade Union Congress President O.B. Ferguson has repeatedly called for an increase, saying the current minimum wage of $260 per week should be increased to $350, noting the high cost of living in the Bahamas. Speaking at the Abaco Business Outlook this week, Glover-Roll says government has several things to consider before making that decision.
That includes the workers' representatives, the unions, the employers' confederations, the chamber, and that includes the government. We have not yet received any recommendation regarding wage increase or minimum wage increase or a livable wage from the National Tripartite Council. But when we do, the government intends to act responsibly, as always, to increase wages while protecting business, while protecting job growth, and while ensuring sustainability of business.
In January 2023, the Davis administration increased the minimum wage from $210 to $260. Government has indicated it would like to raise the minimum wage again during this term. However, it is unclear if that will occur. The minister adds that they're focused on ensuring Bahamian workers receive employment opportunities.
We are ramping up enforcement on our Bahamianization policy. We're ensuring that Bahamians are considered for jobs first. Jobs are available, and we want to ensure that Bahamians are considered. That's why we've been rescinding work permits where qualified Bahamians exist. That's why we are enforcing understudy policies and penalizing employers who bypass the law.
The government is in the final stages of discussions with the China Exim Bank surrounding the details of a new hospital in New Providence. That's according to Health and Wellness Minister Dr. Michael Darville, who said Bahamians will soon start to see movement on the property. An agreement for a $190 million, 200-bed specialty hospital was signed in July, speaking to a 50-50 foreign to Bahamian labor ratio. It's a point in the agreement that is still up for discussion.
We are in the final stages with the discussion with the Exim Bank with all of the parameters associated with the loan itself and the labor component. That is not completed yet. I'm hoping that I would be able to complete that before the end of October, and I would be completely transparent with that document and the components of the document in the public domain.
Darville, asked about government's intention with the labor component, had this to say.
I'm aiming to achieve the best possible outcome for the Bahamian construction worker. And so I do not want to put a number on that. That may be overly ambitious or even not meeting the mark. But I assure you that we will continue negotiation to get the best possible outcome, labor component, for the construction worker in the country.
A 58-year-old man admitted to raping a 9-year-old boy at his home when he made his first appearance in the Supreme Court. Dwight Bell has been in custody since September 2024. Prosecutors allege that on September 7th, Bell lured the child to his home and molested him. Bell, who did not have a lawyer, entered a guilty plea to the charge at his arraignment before Justice Gulamina Archer-Mins. The judge had ordered a lawyer to be appointed for Bell before he sentenced. And switching gears now, Junkanoo seed funding has been increased for A and B category groups, and that's not all. Prize money has also been doubled. Minister for Youth, Sports and Culture Mario Bolag making the announcement today as New Providence groups collected their checks. Funding for A category groups will increase from $30,000 to $40,000, and funding for B category groups will increase from $15,000 to $20,000.
We know that as we continue to invest in Junkanoo and make this our number one culture, we understand the cry of the Junkanoos and the groups and the leaders and the sacrifice that they have to put in. So it was not an easy, a hard task to make a decision to give them that increase. And as time goes on, we still believe that we're going to have to continue increasing as time goes on, especially when we implement the authority as it comes sometime next year.
The major Junkanoo parades are a highlight of the cultural calendar. More than a dozen groups and thousands of Junkanooers rush down Bay Street for the Boxing Day and New Year's Day parades. But there's been controversy in recent weeks with the JCNP going head-to-head with the government over the National Junkanoo Authority bill. Bolake says that bill will be debated in the House of Assembly next month.
I intend to lay that bill on the table hopefully October 8th. That'd be its first reading, and then thereafter it'll have a second reading, and we expect to debate it and pass the bill. The authority bill is coming. There's no ifs, ands, or buts. The authority bill is coming. We believe that's the direction we need to move in as a country. We need to understand Junkanoo is a multi-million-dollar industry, and we have to make sure that we take it to that level.
Well, the Creative and Performing Arts School is set to welcome 50 students at its grand opening this Monday, according to project lead Ian Poitier. The opening has been years in the making, and according to Poitier, officials have been engaged in an active and rigorous recruitment process. They have also assembled a team of Bahamians to take the institution forward. The school will be located at the old Phil's Food Store on Gladstone Road, and the space will be outfitted with dance, recording studios, and more.
So this is the first year of the foundation year. The full-time course is a 3-year course, the BA Honours course. So think of this times 3. We're slightly higher, I think, than we would want for each year. But if we think of 25 in each year, that means at any given time we have a full complement of 75 students in each year, which is quite a significant load. For the evening course, we can expand a bit more widely than that because obviously on a part-time syllabus, you want to accommodate people who are working and so on.
And the team leading the institution forward consists of some familiar faces from the orange economy who have all in their own way made their impact.
My connection to Kappas is, like he said, in the musical directing. That will be dealing with productions as well as preparation for those productions.
As head of producing, I will be in charge of everything TV, film, theater production related and the production arts. Everything will be, looked at to be a certain quality and standard, and making sure that I can also help provide international opportunities for these students.
Well, a rainy start to the weekend, but as to what we can expect going forward, here's meteorologist Greg Thompson with your latest look at temperatures. Greg, happy Friday.
Yeah, thanks, Megan, and a happy Friday evening, everybody. We got some showers here in the capital today, and it's a little bit on the cloudy side outside right now. 83 degrees is our current temperature. Winds out of the north-northeast at 6 miles per hour. Feels like temperature is at 87. Temperatures right now across the northwest Bahamas. 81 in Freeport, 82 in Marsh Harbor, Abaco. We pick up 84, Alistown, Bimini, Great Harbor, Keithbury Islands. 83 in Nicholstown, Andros, here in the capital as well. Governors Harbor, 81 there. Central Bahamas, 84. Kemps Bay, Coburn Townsend, Salvador, Port Nelson. Pick up 83s, Arthurstown, Kidd Island, and in Georgetown, Great Exuma. Black Point Exuma actually is 85. Some showers there. Deadmanski also have some showers nearby at 81, and into the southeast Bahamas, 84. Colonel Hill, Cricket Island, Abrahams Bay. And a string of 85s, Duncantown, Ragged Island, Delectable Bay, Acklands, Providenciales, Turks and Caicos Islands, and Matthewtown in Agua at this hour. Satellite radar composite, that boundary, that moisture plume that was across the northwest Bahamas now sagged into the central Bahamas. Lots of showers and thunderstorms associated with that boundary, so prompted some severe thunderstorm warnings being issued today by the Department of Meteorology. That boundary is going to stay basically quasi-stationary, not going to move very much, but we do have a low-pressure system that this is attached to. Eventually that will swing out, dry air mass will move in, so we're looking for some lesser showers for the weekend. That's your first look at weather. Stick with us. A look at your extended forecast is still to come.
Coming up in our sports, Anthony lines up and Rima competes in Tokyo. H.D. Christie makes a donation to swimming, and UB has its largest freshman athletics class ever.
Hey, Greg Thompson here, and thank you for watching. Be sure to hit that follow button. And if you want to see more content like this, follow all of our news social media pages. And hey, don't forget to turn on your notifications so you never miss out on the top stories from the team you already trust.
Sasha Lightborn here, and thank you so much for watching. Be sure to follow all of the Our News social media pages to make sure that you don't miss those top stories from the team you already trust.
NFL season is back, and Cable Bahamas is bringing the action straight to you.
Okay, so let I take it from here. This season, Cable Bahamas is the Bahamas' #1 NFL provider. More games than ever before. With any live fiber infinite bundle, Trio or Trio Plus, you unlock Thursday Night Football, Sunday Ticket in 4K, and every highlight that matters. Just opt in the Sports X for $5 a month.
And don't miss a touchdown. Sign up now.
Watch Thursday Night Football exclusively with Rev and the Live Fiber on channel 747 and 748.
Embrace technology and the digital transformation for better business results. For small business owners, it's essential to understand how technology can affect operational efficiencies. Modern communication relies on technology, and your customer service depends on communication. With proper tools like our fixed and mobile services, we help you stay connected. For solutions that work, ask the experts. Call Cable Bahamas Business Solutions.
Welcome to our sports at 7. I'm Sasha Lightborn, in for 10th year seniors. Let's get started. She did everything in her power to make the 200-meter finals, but running that race just wasn't to be. With her left leg heavily strapped, Anthony Strawn lined up for the race but had a false start and was disqualified. Melissa Jefferson would emerge as the winner. H.D. Christie Limited, the Bahamas' largest and oldest real estate firm, continues to demonstrate its commitment to community development across the nation by supporting athletic programs that build character, inspire youth, and strengthen local pride. Its newest partnership is with the Abaco branch of Alpha Aquatics, helping young swimmers gain access to training, competition, and lifelong skills in the pool. We'll have more on that at 7:30. UB Athletics Director Kimberly Roll says she's looking forward to sports across disciplines as the academic year is already underway, and there will be a lot of new faces on those teams representing the UB Mingos.
The freshman intake represents approximately 45% of our current student athlete body population. So we're very excited about that. That augurs well for us. We were very deliberate with our recruiting efforts, particularly in Grand Bahama. Last academic year, and so now we're seeing the fruits of that labor.
That'll do it for our sports at 7 p.m. I'm Sasha Lightborn. Be sure to stay tuned to our news at 7:30 for details on all these stories and more.
When our news comes back from the break, we turn our spotlight to stories making headlines across the world as hundreds of thousands took part in an anti-austerity protest across France. Plus, the U.S. and China have approved a deal on the future of TikTok's U.S. operations. And then world leaders to gather in New York to drive urgent action on renewable energy. Prime Minister Davis expected to attend. We have the details when our news continues.
I was just telling my friend I wish I could get my Our News update sent to my phone, like a WhatsApp message or something, you know?
Haven't you heard?
Well, who say that?
It's me, Jerome, your news godfather, and I'm here to update your life.
Well, how do you plan to update my life exactly? Because I don't think I'm understanding. Care to elaborate?
Our News has launched its broadcast channel, so now most important updates come straight to your WhatsApp.
Dad, so you tell me that I have access to real-time updates and news at 7:30?
Yes, you get it first and direct and unfiltered.
Okay.
It's perfect for our viewers who want to stay on top of what's going
Well,
on.
I want to stay in tune. Are you talking about like recent crimes and political updates and heartfelt stories as well as sports coverage?
We're talking exclusive updates, behind-the-scenes content, major announcements, everything you actually care about.
Nice. I love the sound of that. So this is like VIP access to the news you don't want to miss out. So what are you waiting for? Be sure to press the notification bell on the WhatsApp broadcast channel so that you don't miss out on all of the real-time updates.
Sasha Lightborn here, and thank you so much for watching. Be sure to follow all of the Our News social media pages to make sure that you don't miss those top stories from the team you already trust.
And I was just telling my friend I wish I could get my Our News updates sent to my phone, like a WhatsApp message or something, you know?
Haven't you heard?
Well, who say that?
It's me, Jerome, your news godfather, and I'm here to update.
NFL season is back, and Cable Bahamas is bringing the action straight to you.
Okay, so let I take it from here. This season, Cable Bahamas is the Bahamas' #1 NFL provider. More games than ever before. With any live fiber infinite bundle, Trio or Trio Plus, you unlock Thursday Night Football, Sunday Ticket in 4K, and every highlight.
This is Our News. Welcome back. We turn our attention now to stories making headlines across the world. Hundreds of thousands took part in an anti-austerity protest across France, urging President Emmanuel Macron and his new prime minister to acknowledge their anger and scrap looming budget cuts. Teachers, train drivers, pharmacists, and hospital staff were among those who went on strike as part of the day of protest, while teenagers blocked dozens of high schools. Protesters are calling for the previous government's fiscal plans to be scrapped, for more spending on public services, higher taxes on the wealthy, and for the reversal of an unpopular change, making people work longer to get a pension. 3 Russian military jets, MiG-31 fighter jets, on Friday violated NATO members Estonia's airspace for 12 minutes in an unprecedentedly brazen incursion. This amid rising tensions on the alliance's eastern flank. Estonia said it had summoned the top Russian diplomat in the country to lodge a protest and deliver a note. The official said that a deeper assessment was ongoing. U.S. President Donald Trump said he and Chinese Premier Xi Jinping have approved a deal on the future of TikTok's U.S. operations. Trump announced he will meet Xi at the Asia-Pacific Economic Cooperation Summit in South Korea next month and would travel to China next year. Trump described the call as productive and says he appreciated Xi's approval of the deal, which would reportedly see TikTok's U.S. business sold to a group of U.S. investors. TikTok, which is run by Chinese firm ByteDance, was previously told it had to sell its operations or risk being shut down. Trinidad and Tobago Prime Minister Kamla Persad-Bissessar, during the launch of the United Nations Development Programme's 2025 Regional Human Development Report for Latin America and the Caribbean, calling for a renewed social contract that reduces inequality, strengthens civic trust, and safeguards fundamental freedoms, including health, education, and economic opportunity. The UNDP report recommends building resilience through smarter policies, strong institutions, and more robust physical and digital infrastructure. It also highlights the critical role of digital technologies in fostering resilience, but notes persistent gaps in access, adding less than 40% of Caribbean households have a computer. President of the European Commission, President of Kenya, and the Bahamas' Prime Minister Philip Davis will headline the second Global Renewable Summit September 22nd and 23rd in New York, alongside the UN General Assembly and Climate Week, New York City. The summit will open with high-level sessions on renewable energy abundance, Roundtable dialogues will focus on urgent priorities, including national energy plans, energy security, unlocking capital for emerging markets, expanding grids and storage, and accelerating green industrialization. The summit serves as a pivotal moment to turn global ambition into national action, mobilizing investment, policy, and partnerships to scale renewables at unprecedented speed ahead of COP30. Belize is strengthening its financial system with the Insolvency and Bankruptcy Act 2025, replacing the century-old 1902 law. The new legislation aims to give struggling businesses more opportunities to recover, protect jobs, and align the country with international standards. It also introduces a modern framework covering both individuals and companies and will be implemented in 5 phases ending October 2026. The reform comes shortly after Belize's admission to the International Association of Insolvency Regulators in June 2025, a move that underscores the country's commitment to global best practices and long-term economic resilience. Still to come in our news, today in history, find out interesting facts about the day that was September 19th. Plus, Atlanta's Paradise Island getting up to host Bahama Breeze Music Festival. It's a lineup of musicians you won't want to miss. And then in our news at 7:30, a strategic way to save money and reduce monthly costs. Plus, it's all environmentally friendly. We'll tell you the advice from the RF Banking Trust Vice President. That's coming up when our news returns.
What do you get when you're searching for the whole truth?
Less than 24 hours after the body of 12-year-old was discovered on a track road on Faith Avenue, police say they...
You get the most comprehensive half hour of news.
Breach of the party's constitution.
Behind me is what remains of the Victoria Court Apartment Complex.
Our News at 7 brings you that truth in all of the day's top stories, sports, and our view of the world. Join me, Candino Knowles, weeknights for Our News at 7. Stay with the team you already trust.
In what we do at Best Brew, it really doesn't end when the customer purchases our product. We offer specialty coffee, tea, spices, and brewing equipment. We do a lot of our orders via website. We actually have the mobile service and the phone service and the internet. So having business in a box really kind of brought everything together for us and helps us to be able to provide the customer services that we pride ourselves on.
My name is Trevor Williams. I've been a Live Fiber customer since March 2024. The installation process was seamless, effortless, and extremely fast. The gentlemen that came to the installation were very helpful, reliable, very knowledgeable, and the time allocated to do the installation was shorter than the time specified. Yeah, the previous provider I had, I noticed that the internet speed actually had intermittent on the services, so I was very grateful that the live fiber was available in my area. Once I was able to make the switch, my service and everything I needed was satisfied. My favorite feature would actually be being able to add any apps from the Play Store. It's just basically making any dumb TV a smart TV. I do a lot of
On this day in Bahamian history in 1927, Jeffrey Adams Dinwiddie Johnston was born in New Providence. Johnston was a politician, lawyer, church leader, and a civil servant. He was elected to represent the Eastern District of New Providence in 1962. Then in 1972, the government of the Commonwealth of the Bahamas held general elections. The PLP won 29 of the 38 contested seats, while the FNM won the other 9 seats. Lyndon Pinley would continue as Prime Minister. Fast forward to 2019, the country held a national prayer service to help heal the scars inflicted by Monster Storm Dorian, which ravaged Abaco and Grand Bahama earlier that month. And in 2022, Queen Elizabeth II was laid to rest. Our News was in London for the somber ceremony. For the full details on these stories that made the day that was September 19th, be sure to visit ournews.bs. Abaco residents are now among the first in the Family Islands to gain access to Alive's high-speed fiber network. Company executives officially launched Alive Fiber in Abaco with a ribbon-cutting ceremony at the brand-new Alive store in Resilience Square, Marsh Harbor, a location that stands as a symbol of the island's ongoing recovery from Hurricane Dorian. Chief Alive Officer John Gomez used the occasion to highlight the company's continued commitment to supporting Abaco's growth.
Abaco has been faced with a number of adversities, the most recent one, as we all know, Dorian. And during that time, our network stood the test of Hurricane Dorian when it came through. Mm-hmm. The expectations for the network that we are now putting in place will also be able to provide the same level of resiliency, robustness as we go forward. And so we're excited to be able to make that possible in the community of Abaco.
Also bringing remarks was Member of Parliament for South and Central Abaco, John Pinder. He says the new fiber network is not just about faster speeds, but about strengthening the community's resilience in the face of challenges.
I'm happy to see Alive Fiber in Abaco and hopefully throughout Abaco to not only bolster the homes and the children's education, but the businesses and make it more resilient for years to come. I would like to say thank you to Alive because having lived through Hurricane Dorian, communication was quite troublesome afterwards. And I remember that their southern tower was up, but they immediately brought in a temporary tower to put in Central Abaco to make sure that we were connected and that we had proper communication out of Abaco, which in turn helped us recoup and rebuild faster and better than ever.
Alrighty, great news for the island of Abaco. While Anthony Hamilton, Ashanti, Dougie Fresh, Julian Believe, and Wendy are just a few of the artists that will be taking center stage at the Bahama Breeze Music Festival this weekend at Atlantis Paradise Island. Presented by Tricky Entertainment, the Ministry of Tourism, and DS3 Entertainment, the three-night event promises sophisticated sounds, island elegance, and grown energy. One of the headliners is Grammy Award-winning artist Anthony Hamilton, who says he's happy to be back in the Bahamas, not just to perform, but to immerse himself in the culture.
I'm waiting on my conch salad and for the stage tonight, and it's good to be back and be a part of this amazing festival. And thank you all for welcoming me.
Yes, sir.
And my music.
The weekend is more than just the concerts. Registered guests can enjoy a variety of events such as an R&B breakfast jam, a beach vibes bash, and a golf tournament. Organizers are also offering an exclusive discount to locals when booking online at BahamaBreezeMusicFestival.com using code LOCAL242. Julian Believe will also be performing.
I have a responsibility. We have a responsibility to ensure that the message of who we are as a people through our music gets out there to the world. So I am really looking forward to
Alrighty, well, to watch that story again and for all of today's top stories, be sure to visit ournews.bs. That does it for our news live at 7. Joining us now is our Italia Hall with the latest headlines. Italia, TGIF.
Well, coming up, the Way Forward Valley Boys Junkanoo Group will be the only faction recognized on Bay this year, and Grand Bahama prepares for International Coastal Cleanup Day. Here are your latest headlines. First tonight on our news at 7:30, the loss of Cuban healthcare professionals over the summer is still being felt in public hospitals. That's according to the PHA managing director. We have the latest coming up, plus a heartbreaking story. A child has died after an incident at a preschool on Grand Bahama. Police are investigating what led to the tragedy. Plus, a Supreme Court jury has acquitted a track and field coach at Doris Johnson High School of sexually assaulting a team member. And later,
how you can stop this from happening. Tonight on Our News, we explore how you can prevent extensive damage by tree trimming. Stay tuned to Our News tonight for more details.
The story when Our News at 7:30 returns.
Every season creates an opportunity for you to enjoy the comfort and security of your most valuable assets. Unfortunately, termites are common and very unwanted guests that never stop eating. With Struckum, you can enjoy the peace of mind as we protect your investment with our 3-year fumigation warranty. Struckum, #1 in pest control services.
It's me, Wednesday Addams. Your life just took a dark turn. I regret to inform you that I have devised the meal of misfortune with Wendy's. It's pure torture for your taste buds, with 4 nightmarish dips of dread. Don't waste my time asking which ones you'll get. You must surrender to your fate. Enjoy the anguish.
Are you or a loved one under medical care? Do you need affordable medical supplies? Ports International is the largest home healthcare supplier. Medical supplies at the very best price, and you can even shop online. From hospital beds to wound care, wheelchairs to walkers, Ports is a one-stop shop for your medical supplies, and we accept insurance. We have online shopping and 2 locations to serve you, at the Airport Industrial Park and Shirley Street. We also ship to the Family Islands. Shop online and visit us on Facebook.
Welcome to our news. Thanks so much for joining us. I'm Natalia Hall. The loss of Cuban healthcare professionals over the summer still being felt across the public healthcare system. Public Hospitals Authority Managing Director Dr. Abaco says patients and healthcare workers aren't the only ones feeling the cut. Our Bethany McDermott reports.
The loss of Cuban healthcare professionals placing an added strain in the public healthcare system, according to Public Hospitals Authority Managing Director Dr. Abaco. Details of an agreement allowing Cuban healthcare workers to work in the Bahamas was brought into question after the United States threatened visa sanctions on any country participating in forced labor programs. Roll telling us it's also hitting PHA in the pockets.
The impact is being felt by many, not only by the patients, but it's also being felt by their co-workers, because we now have to ensure that persons are on the shift. We have to increase the overtime, so there's an increase in our financial burden, all of those elements.
A leaked 2022 contract published by Cuba Archive indicated the Bahamas paid up to $12,000 per month per doctor, while the Cuban professionals received only $990 to $1,200, with the rest going to a Cuban state-run agency. Health and Wellness Minister Dr. Michael Darville revealed the plan to cut ties with the healthcare workers back in June, adding the government would move to hire them directly. But as it stands, the arrangement has not been finalized just yet.
As late as a few days ago, we submitted another document requested by the U.S. government concerning what we're doing at the Ministry of Health, and we await for the response to that document. The discussions are very fluid.
Darville stressed the government followed all labor laws. In the meantime, the PHA managing director says they are recruiting from other countries where this issue may not be a concern.
We've dealt with segments of Africa. We now have persons seeking from Canada, also those persons from the UK, even physicians. So we are doing our best, but it has caused a burden.
Now we ask the PHA managing director exactly how much money has been spent in overtime due to the loss of those Cuban healthcare workers. To that, she said this.
We have not at this stage done a true data review of it. What I can say, though, is that we're watching it and we are aligning and putting aside X amount because of specialized areas.
Reporting for our news, I'm Bethany McDermott.
Thanks, Bethany. Well, a tragic incident on Grand Bahama. Police confirming this afternoon a toddler has died following an accident at a preschool on the Northern Island. Officers say the child was rushed to hospital from the East Sunrise Highway preschool, but was later pronounced dead. While police describe the victim as a toddler, sources tell Our News the child is believed to be a 6-year-old boy. No word yet on what led to the incident. We reached out to the police press liaison officer in Grand Bahama for more details, but have not received a response up to news time. We'll continue to follow the story and bring you updates as they become available. Well, a Supreme Court jury has acquitted a track and field coach at Doris Johnson High School of sexually assaulting a member of his team by a vote of 6-2. The jury of 4 men and 4 women cleared 54-year-old Robert Ayton of 1 count of indecent assault and 2 counts of unlawful sexual intercourse with a minor of the same sex after deliberating for over 4 hours. Prosecutors had alleged that Ayton first molested the boy at age 14 during cross-country training sometime between October 1st and 31st in 2019. The boy injured his leg during the meet, and Ayton allegedly touched his genitals while giving him a massage. Ayton was also accused of having sexual relations on 2 separate occasions between June 1st, 2020 and February 28, 2021 at his home and at the school. Ayton testified that the allegations were lies. He also called another member of the track team who testified that the complainant had a reputation as a liar. There will be only 1 Valley Boys rushing on Bay this Junkanoo season, and it will be the Way Forward Valley Boys led by Trevor Davis. That's according to Culture Minister Mario Boleg. His comments came as Davis's group received their seed funding, while the other faction led by Adelaide did not receive any. The saga between the 2 sides has gone on for more than a year, causing tension within the group and confusion among loyal fans and supporters. But Boleg says based on the court's ruling, the government has to comply with the law. While Executive Board member Devon Jones says it's now clear there's only 1 true Valley Boys.
And I think the day brings some clarity to who the Valley Boys are. I think you saw only 1 Valley Boys stood up when our name was called to receive the check. So I think it's clear to all donors, sponsors, supporters. You now know who the Valley Boys are. You need not entertain anyone else when you want to support the Valley Boys.
Switching gears now, it's been 1 week since wild weather damaged homes, twisted power lines, and toppled trees in eastern New Providence. And our extensive reporting on Friday's microburst has shown how a lot of the damage was caused by fallen trees. In this next report, our Joshua Williams explains how regular tree trimming could save you the headache and a whole lot of money.
Don't wait until a natural disaster like this to happen.
Last week, a microburst in New Providence caused extensive damage to homes and property, costing thousands of dollars. And in many of the cases, it was trees that caused most of the damage. So what's the lesson to be learned here? Landscaper Ricardo Basil tells me untrimmed trees present a real danger with any wild weather.
It causes extensive damages to your home, like to the power lines. It could damage your neighbor house, could be danger to your pets or people nearby. So it's best to keep your house and the trees trimmed. You have to go on your own discretion on it. So if you see a big branch hanging over your roof or covering your driveway, it's best to get that dealt with as soon as possible.
This is exactly what I saw in the area most damaged by the microburst. The night of the storm, trees blocked roads, making it difficult to pass. Branches were intertwined with downed power lines. Trees uprooted sidewalks. Others fell on homes, gates, and even cars.
I had a client one time, they had a coconut tree where they didn't got it cut in time. It fell right through the house and it cost them roof, furniture, a lot of damage.
Sounds simple enough. You can just use a cutlass or a chainsaw, but can just anyone professionally cut a tree?
No, you can't. You can't. You can't. You have to be a professional. You have to know how you cut in the tree. You have to strategize everything. You have to look and see if any power lines are around, anyone houses around, cars around. You have to do all of that homework before you go cut that tree.
And while they enhance our surroundings, Basil is encouraging the government to continue to monitor the number of untrimmed trees along public roadways.
So I think a better job needs to be done with that because that is not safe. A lot of those trees could fall at any given time. Any given time you could be driving it could cause an accidental death, accident, anything fall on the road, block up road, cause traffic. Like the high ups, yes, they need to put something in place whereas they get all those trees trimmed.
Reporting for Our News, I'm Joshua Williams.
All right, thanks so much for that, Josh. Well, another day with more rain in the capital. Meteorologist Greg Thompson is in the Weather Center with your first look. Greg, what can you tell us?
Yeah, thanks, Italian. Good Friday evening, everybody. Cloudy conditions on the outside, 83 degrees our current temperature. We had some showers and some thunderstorms earlier today. Your winds out of the north-northeast at 6 miles per hour. Feels like temperature is at 87. Satellite radar composite, that frontal boundary or that boundary actually that was across the northwest Bahamas, now moving into the central Bahamas. Showers and thunderstorms associated with that. Affecting that area, also got a couple of those showers, as I mentioned here in the capital today. Some thunderstorms out of it as well. The boundary is going to remain quasi-stationary across the central Bahamas. Attached to low pressure system, that low is going to lift out. The boundary moving towards the east and away from us. Dry air mass expected for the weekend. That's a quick check on conditions around the islands. Stick with us. A look at your extended forecast and the tropics still to come.
Still to come on our news, the Ministry of Health has launched its National Rehabilitative and Assistive Technology Strategic Plan. We'll tell you all about it straight ahead. And with the cost of living still climbing, an RF Bank and Trust executive says investing in solar could be a smart way to slash monthly expenses. And later, Grand Bahamians are being called to action this Saturday for International Coastal Cleanup Day, with several groups leading the effort. That's all coming up when our news returns.
They're blue for me and you, and I say to myself, what a wonderful
Whoa! In the Bahamas, island time is real. The history of Morris Lumber Company, established in 1945, is etched into the fabric of this proud island nation. It's a story that deserves to be celebrated in full color, and that's where we come in. Morris the Paint Place has been bringing color and vitality to homes and businesses across the Bahamas. Here, color is more than just a hue, it's a symbol of life. Together, we can paint a brighter future.
Whether you're battling a chronic condition or offsetting a new injury, Doctors Hospital's comprehensive rehab services offer the help you need now.
Go to doctors.
3 advanced facilities at Collins Avenue, Carmichael Road, and Cable Beach means your personalized plan for care is just a visit away. From physiotherapy to occupational therapy and speech and language pathology, our team approach is all about rebuilding together. For a full list of services, visit doctorshosp.com/rehabilitation. Doctors Hospital, trusted and best care now. Isn't your health worth it?
NFL season is back, and Cable Bahamas is bringing the action straight to you.
Okay, Zai, let I take it from here. This season, Cable Bahamas is the Bahamas' #1 NFL provider. More games than ever before. With any live fiber infinite bundle, Trio or Trio Plus, you unlock Thursday Night Football, Sunday Ticket in 4K, and every highlight that matters. Just opt in the...
The Ministry of Health and Wellness launching the National Rehabilitation and Assistive Technology Strategic Plan. The plan is a commitment by the government to advance rehabilitation and assistive technology of essential components of universal health coverage and sustainable development. Healthcare workers gathered under the theme Everybody, Every Ability, Every Life, Empowering Through Rehabilitation and Assistive Technology. WHO and PAHO representative to the Bahamas, Dr. Eldona Buesson, says more than 2.4 billion people are currently living with health conditions that benefit from assistive rehabilitation. With many challenges facing the healthcare system in the region, she says opportunities are now available.
An opportunity to reimagine health systems, to reposition rehabilitation and assistive technology as core elements of primary healthcare. PAHO WHO has consistently emphasized that rehabilitation is not a luxury. As you've heard, it's a necessity.
Health and Wellness Minister Dr. Michael Darville says the first aspect of this plan will address shortfalls to ensure no one slips through the gaps. He explains that the rollout will be in stages.
Suicide from our national school report showed some really interesting statistics that are eye-opening. This rollout incorporates some of the aspects associated with rehabilitative services for mental health, and that will be outlined in the discussions later on in the session today.
All right, well, the cost of living continues to climb from groceries to utilities, and Bahamians are feeling the pinch. Like many countries around the world, the Bahamas is also grappling with high energy prices. And while government initiatives have been implemented to ease the burden, some experts believe individuals can take control of their energy costs starting right at home. Well, during our monthly sit-down, RF Bank and Trust Vice President and Group Head of Investment, David Slatter, shared the economics behind investing in solar panels. He says it's not just an environmentally friendly move, but a strategic way to save money and reduce monthly expenses.
We're looking at a proposal for solar panels on a residence, not with a battery array, just the panels. So you'd be supplementing BPL during the day, obviously. And based on the numbers, it'd be like a payback of around 6 to 6.5 years. So if you think about that, if you're one of those individuals that can afford the panels or can finance the panels, that's not actually necessarily a bad investment. So after 6 to 6.5 years, suddenly you've recouped the cost of the solar panels fully, and that savings in the monthly bill that you've been realizing is effectively, you can think of it as profit at that point. So not a bad way to reduce your electricity bill, maybe if you can afford or find a way to finance solar panels. I was also looking at using wholesale pricing versus retail pricing. So I went and crunched the numbers on a very well-known brand of paper towel, for example, offered by a very well-known wholesaler. And I went to a very well-known retailer, and I crunched the numbers. So at the wholesaler, you can get a 24-pack of this well-known paper towel brand at a cost of $2 per roll. Or you can go to the retailer and you can buy a 2-pack at $4 per roll. So it's a 100% difference in the price.
When our news comes back from the break, Grand Bahamians are gearing up to roll up their sleeves this Saturday for International Coastal Cleanup Day, with organizers hoping to top last year's turnout.
Coming up in our sports, Anthony Strawn is disqualified from the women's 200-meter finals in Tokyo. H.G. Christie makes a donation to a swim club in Abaco, and we hear more from UB's athletics director.
And the rain is back. Stay tuned for your weekend weather planner with Greg when our news returns. Stay with us.
Back, and Cable Bahamas is bringing the action straight to you.
Okay, Zai, let I take it from here. This season, Cable Bahamas is the Bahamas' #1 NFL provider. More games than ever before. With any live fiber infinite bundle, Trio or Trio Plus, you unlock Thursday Night Football, Sunday Ticket in 4K, and every highlight that matters. Just opt in the Sports X for $5 a month.
And don't miss a touchdown. Sign up now.
Watch Thursday Night Football exclusively with Rev and the Live Fiber on channel 747 and 748.
I was just telling my friend I wish I could get my Our News updates sent to my phone, like a WhatsApp message or something, you know?
Haven't you heard?
Well, who say that?
It's me, Jerome, your news godfather, and I'm here to update your life.
Well, how do you plan to update my life exactly? Because I don't think I'm understanding. Care to elaborate?
Our News has launched its broadcast channel, so now most important updates come straight to your WhatsApp.
Dad, so you tell me that I have access to real-time updates and news at 7:30?
Yes, you get it first and direct and unfiltered.
Okay.
It's perfect for our viewers who want to stay on top of what's going on.
Well, I want to stay in tune. Are you talking about like recent crimes and political updates and heartfelt stories as well as sports coverage?
We're talking exclusive updates, behind-the-scenes content, major announcement, everything you actually care about.
Nice. I love the sound of that. So this is like VIP access to the news you don't want to miss out. So what are you waiting for? Be sure to press the notification bell on the WhatsApp broadcast channel so that you don't miss out on all of the real-time updates.
Welcome to our sports at 7:30. Happy Friday. I'm Sasha Lightbourne. In for 10th year seniors, let's get started. I'm sure it wasn't the outcome she wanted, but she had the courage to still step up to the line at the 200-meter finals in Tokyo. Anthony Strawn would then be disqualified. After not being sure whether Anthony Strachan would even compete in the women's 200-meter finals in Tokyo at the World Athletics Championships, Our News received confirmation that she would from Team Bahamas' head coach, Tito Moss, just after 7 a.m. Bahamas time. Now, Moss confirmed earlier that Strachan did an MRI, which did not reveal any major damage or concern. She lined up for the race with a heavily taped left leg, but had a false start and was disqualified. Melissa Jefferson would win that race in 21.68 seconds. Also competing for the Bahamas was Rima Ottabor in the women's javelin throw Group B. Rima threw 60.06 meters, finishing 7th out of 18 participants in her group, placing her 15th overall out of 36 total competitors. She was just 3 spots shy of making the final. H.G. Christie Limited, the Bahamas' largest and oldest real estate firm, continues to demonstrate its commitment to community development across the nation by supporting athletic programs that build character, inspire youth, and strengthen local pride. The newest partnership for H.G. Christie is with the Abaco branch of Alpha Aquatics, helping young swimmers gain access to training, competition, and lifelong skills in the pool. The Abaco branch, operating out of the Long Bay School pool, is just 2 years old, but has already made waves nationally. Head coach of Alpha Aquatics Abaco is Miller Aubrey.
Without corporate sponsors like H.G. Christie, it would be impossible for us to fund the whole project by ourselves. There's a lot of costs that people don't necessarily think about with running a swim club, but we didn't think twice about it because it's such an essential part of life in the islands. Everybody should know how to swim.
Freshmen will represent a large percentage of individuals of sports teams at the University of the Bahamas. That according to UB Athletics Director Kim Roll, who sat down with me earlier this week. In total, there are now 82 athletes, part of various Mingo teams, 35 of which are freshmen.
In some instances, we expect some of them to be starters. And so they're going to get in there very early, get their feet wet. But we think, in a year or two, our programs are really going to be solid.
As for soccer, a main staple, Roll says this.
They've added quite a bit of talent, particularly national team level talent. And so we expect really, really great things from them.
And basketball will be right there as well.
We've got a team of 12 freshmen, 3 sophomores. So again, that's going to be growing pain, but we're excited about that.
Now, before we go, a friendly reminder to tune in at 9 tonight on ESPN for a do-or-die Game 3 in the WNBA playoffs, where our very own Jonquel Jones and her New York Liberty go up against the Phoenix Mercury. The winner will take on the Minnesota Lynx in the semifinals. Let's go, Liberty! Well, that will do it for our sports on Friday. I'm Sasha Lightbourne. Have a great weekend, everyone.
Still ahead on Our News Tonight, local groups are teaming up this weekend for International Coastal Cleanup Day in Grand Bahama. And Greg is back with your extended weather forecast when Our News continues. Stay with us.
Sasha Lightbourne here, and thank you so much for watching. Be sure to follow all of the Our News social media pages to make sure that you don't miss those top stories from the team you already trust.
And I was just telling my friend I wish I could get my Our News updates sent to my phone, like a WhatsApp message or something,
Haven't you heard?
Well, who say that?
It's me, Jerome, your news godfather, and I'm here to update your life.
Well, how do you plan to update my life exactly? Because I don't think I'm understanding. Care to elaborate?
Our News has launched its broadcast channel, so now most important updates come straight to your WhatsApp.
Dad, so you tell me that I have access to real-time updates and news at 7:30?
Yes, you get it first and direct and unfiltered.
Okay.
It's perfect for our viewers who want to stay on top of what's going on.
Well, I want to stay in tune. Are you talking about like recent crimes and political updates and heartfelt stories as well as sports coverage?
We're talking exclusive updates, behind-the-scenes content, major announcement, everything you actually care about.
Nice. I love the sound of that. So this is like VIP access to the news you don't want to miss out. So what are you waiting for? Be sure to press the notification bell on the WhatsApp broadcast channel so that you don't miss out on all of the real-time updates.
Every week, one show drives the national conversation. On the Record. We challenge the issues, ask the tough questions, and dig deeper. We bring in the experts, the decision makers, and the voices that matter. Our discussions shape policy, influence change, and inform the public like no other. Join us every Thursday at 8 p.m. and again on Sunday at 8:30 p.m. Catch us streaming live on Facebook or catch up with your favorite episodes on our YouTube channel. The conversations that shape the Bahamas start here, on the record.
This is our news. Welcome back. Still tracking the tropics. We have two areas that we're going to continue to monitor over the next couple of days. We also have Gabrielle still out there, tropical storm. By September 22nd, that tropical wave that's moving off of Africa, we'll share that in a short while, is expected to show some signs of tropical development also in the Western Caribbean. There's a possibility down near the September 26th through 28th for some possible tropical development there as well. As I mentioned, we still have Gabrielle out there in the open Atlantic. The 5 p.m. position places Gabrielle at 22.4 degrees north, 56.6 west. Winds up to 50 miles per hour with some higher gusts. Its movement is towards the west-northwest at 12 miles per hour, and the system will continue on that track. Eventually, it's going to turn more towards the north-northwest, and by Sunday, we expect it to be just a beam of Bermuda, possibly making it to a hurricane status. It looks as though it may even get up to Category 2 status just as it passes Bermuda. Taking a look at the remainder of the forecast, well, across our area, that boundary keeping moisture in place, showers and thunderstorms affecting the area, and we will continue to see that through Friday and into Saturday. Most of the activity will be waning, but most of it staying out in the open Atlantic. Then through Sunday, we should see some dry conditions, but just a spotty shower or two in the forecast. Boating forecast, risk of rip currents remain in effect for you beachgoers. Northeast to east winds in the northwest Bahamas, 2 to 4 foot seas. The winds will be up to 10 knots. High tide is at 7:07 tonight, low tide at 1:29 in the morning. Central and southeastern islands, rip current risk down there as well, but your winds more east to southeast at 10 to 15 knots. Seas running 2 to 4 feet over open waters. Here's a look now at your national forecast. In the extended forecast, some spotty showers will remain in the forecast for the next couple of days due to that boundary being just to the south of us. And of course, we expect most of the activity to pull out into the Atlantic. Temperatures will start to warm up. We will start to see those 90 degrees by next week. And of course, some showers in the forecast during that time frame. That's a look at our weather. Make it a safe night. Have a great weekend, everybody.
All right, thanks so much for that, Greg. Well, come this Saturday, Grand Bahamians are being called to action. This as International Coastal Cleanup Day will be observed across the globe. And the Ministry of Tourism, in partnership with the Ocean Conservancy and local groups like the Keep Grand Bahama Clean Committee, Earth Care, Rotary, and the Bahamas National Trust will lead beach cleanups across the island. The effort runs from 8 a.m. to 10 a.m. with organizers encouraging residents to pick any beach nearby and to bring their children along to take part. Jermaine Johnson, coordinator of sustainable tourism at the Ministry of Tourism in Grand Bahama, says last year's support was incredible with more than 4,000 pounds of litter and debris collected. While Gail Woon, founder of Earth Care, says volunteers will also play a key role in collecting citizen data, science data, and program director Jennifer Barnaby at the Grand Bahama Resilience Center says they're excited to be on board.
We're looking for the continued support from our community as we do our part in cleaning not just our coastlines, but the entirety of our island, and ensuring that we have beautiful beaches for our tourists to visit, beautiful beaches for our locals to visit as well.
So people will be divided into groups of 3 to 4 persons, and one person will have a data card, and they will actually be taking down what types of marine debris are being picked up. And that data is sent to the Ocean Conservancy in Maryland and compiled into a global report on marine debris around the world.
We don't realize the importance of our oceans, and we didn't realize it until most of us after Dorian. And there was a new respect for the ocean.
All right, and that's tomorrow morning. It all starts over in Grand Bahama. And with that, we thank you so much for joining us for our news tonight. On behalf of the entire team, I'm Natalia Hall. Thanks so much for joining us again. We'll see you tomorrow night, and have a great evening. Hi, and thank you for watching. I'm Natalia Hall. Be sure and hit that like and subscribe button if you want to see more content like this.
Click right over here. And don't forget to turn on your notifications to see more content from the team you already trust.